Here's the thing, and we talk about this a lot on my program, but here's the summary. What does everyone want? Everyone wants safety, security. They want a stable economy so that they know that their money is not going to be taken away by inflation, for example. And they know that they want respect. Every person wants respect. Every person wants to feel like they are contributing to their community, like they are a member of something greater than themselves. This is something that I see greatly diminished in our country. There are many times in the past when we've come together and we've fought great foes. You can look to the world wars. You can look to the reduction of poverty in the United States. You can look to humanitarian aid in other countries. And you can see how we as a country give and give and give and give and give. In fact, Americans are more charitable. They give more money to charity per person than almost any other country in the world. And that is incredible. Now, what I would like to see happen is I would like to see a way for America to get back on the production path that we were in the past. Now, this has been a Republican talking point for many years and a Democratic talking point for many years. So this is another place where everyone can agree. A great job, a job that is secure and stable and able to provide for a family is something that is vitally important, not just for a community's health, not just for a person's health, but for the health of a country. When we have been having times of great economic prosperity, such as in the 1960s, in the 1920s, many of those booms in economy were from just outproducing the rest of the world. Now, here's my proposal. We have a great obstacle before us as a globe, as a human community. We have a great obstacle before us. And that is, how do we make sure that the earth will be a place that is abundant with life into the far future? Not just tomorrow, but the next 100 years, the next 1,000 years, the next 10,000 years. It would be a shame if everything that humanity has achieved is put into the ground by people looking only into the short-term future. So as a global community, we've come together and said, okay, we are going to reduce the amount of carbon pollution in the atmosphere. We're going to reduce the amount of pollution in our cities, both to help people in terms of their health and to make our cities better places to live, better places to visit, better places for tourism. There are so many reasons why it is important to reduce the amount of pollution in the atmosphere. And it doesn't matter whether you're on the left or right. You personally will benefit from there being fewer coal-fired power plants, for example. It is very well established in the scientific literature that the closer you live to a coal plant, the more likely you are to get lung cancer, the more likely you are to get asthma, those types of respiratory illnesses. There are many millions of people who have died unnecessarily, died unnecessarily from causes directly related to pollution. And so there are some very ambitious targets that I think probably are impossible to hit if we don't all work together. As an example, California has agreed to stop selling most combustion engines by the year 2035. The UK has agreed to do the same thing. And the thing is, at the moment, as I record this in the year of our Lord 2023, we do not have a comprehensive solution to make that possible. If we hypothetically just junked all the gas cars today, there wouldn't be as much freedom, there wouldn't be as much autonomy, there wouldn't be as much ability for people to commute to work. It would severely limit the amount of economic growth that we would see. So, how do we get from here to there? How do we get from, in about 10 or 12 years, from where we are now, where it would be a huge economic detriment, to a place where everyone has the ability to have as much autonomy and freedom as they do now, and not be overburdened by needing to buy a $100,000 Tesla. How do we get from here to there? Well, something you may not know is that solar technology has been increasing at an exponential rate. So what you might have seen, even 10 years ago, we had big, bulky panels. They were very primitive. They were very low amount of power that was generated. We now have small, flexible panels made out of things like plastic or glass that are able to produce as much as those older panels, in many times as much as 2 or 3 times as much power as those older solar panels. We have reached a point where the amount of money that it costs to generate 1 watt of electricity, or 1 megawatt, however you measure it, the amount of money to generate that amount of electricity is actually the same for coal, natural gas, solar, and wind. Now, the only one that it would be easy to decrease the price for is solar. It's difficult to reduce the price of natural gas and coal, and it is difficult to reduce the price of making a giant wind farm. But if we make it a national priority, we can work together and we can reduce the cost of solar panels by 90%. I have a plan to do this, and you'll be able to read the full report on the website and listen to our episodes about it. But in summary, why not take some of these old factories, these old manufacturing areas in the Rust Belt where people need good jobs, where a $60,000 a year job working in a factory is one of the best paying jobs in town. Take those old factories, retool them for the modern age, and make so many solar panels that the cost goes down dramatically. Make it so that they're easy to install, so people don't have to pay a large install cost, or if they do have to pay someone to install it, it doesn't cost very much. I estimate, and this is only an estimate at this point, but I estimate that we would be able to reduce the price of solar panel installation from around $20,000 or even more per household that it is now to around $2,000 plus installation. With only 20 by 30 feet of solar panels per American, we could produce more than enough solar energy for the United States, and by then increasing the amount of solar panels that we have even farther than that, we will be able to easily power all of the electric vehicles, the self-driving vehicles, the electric trucks, all of these transportation options that will need a much larger amount of power than we're creating now. So how do we get from, the amount of energy that we're producing now to a much larger amount, and also make sure that we don't increase carbon pollution? So this is one of several connected ideas that we have about this, and you can hear all about them on our show. But I just wanted to give you guys a summary here on this page. Thank you.